Dylan Harper is on one of the most impressive rookie runs in NBA history that we've ever seen so far. His level of play has definitely gone under the radar due to the other talented rookies in his draft class. But ironically, Dylan Harper is already forcing the Spurs into a question that they didn't think they'd have to answer this early. And that question is, what kind of career is he going to have? Because right now, there are two very different paths being laid out in front of him. And both of them are already familiar in NBA history. Let's get into it. Now, coming into the NBA, everybody knew Dylan Harper had talent. Size, the physicality, the ability to create downhill, it all translated immediately. But what stood out most about Dylan Harper wasn't necessarily the flashes, it's how comfortable he already looks playing winning basketball. He's shown real patience in the pick and roll situation, he's already reading defenses at a high level, and physically, he's not getting pushed off his spots. If we looked at his rookie season overall, Dylan Harper averaged 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists on 51% shooting, 34% from 3, and 76% from the line. And the real telltale sign of his growth was his 3-point shot. Before All-Star break, Dylan Harper was shooting an abysmal 25% from 3, but after All-Star break, things started to shift. He went from shooting 25% from 3 to shooting a blistering hot 49% from 3. The aggression picked up, the scoring became more consistent, and most importantly, the chemistry of Victor Wembanyama started to feel real. And now in the postseason, we're starting to see him look like a player that the Spurs can actually build around. But the real question isn't how good Dylan Harper has already shown to be, it's what role he's supposed to play throughout his career as he keeps on growing. Because historically, we've already seen two versions of this exact conversation play out. One through Tony Parker, and the other through James Harden. And Dylan Harper might be standing right in the middle of both. So let's start with Tony Parker. When people think about Tony Parker, they think of championships. He was the engine of a great Spurs offense next to Tim Duncan. He gave them pace, rim pressure, and control in the pick and roll, and he wasn't trying to dominate every possession. He was controlling the flow of the entire system for the San Antonio Spurs. Because of that sacrifice, he became a 4-time NBA champion, a Finals MVP, and one of the most important guards of the 2010 era. And when you look at Dylan Harper, you definitely see some similarities between them. The downhill pressure is already there, the comfort in the pick and roll is already there, and more importantly, the ability to play next to a dominant big, like Tim Duncan with Victor Wembanyama, is already showing up. So if Dylan Harper takes this path, he doesn't necessarily have to become the face of everything. He becomes the guard that makes everything work, the stabilizer, the co-star, the championship piece to a Spurs dynasty. But there's another path, and it looks very different. James Harden started his career in Oklahoma City as a young creator next to two established stars in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. He played his role, he came off the bench, he sacrificed touches. And it helped them reach the finals at 22 years old. But eventually, James Harden wanted more. He wanted his own team. And once he got to Houston, everything changed. He became one of the greatest offensive forces the league has ever seen. Several MVP-level seasons, several scoring titles, historic isolation numbers. For nearly a decade, the entire Rocket system revolved around James Harden. And that's the other side of Dylan Harper's future. And let's be clear, the Harden path isn't necessarily failure, it's greatness, but it comes with a different reality. Even with all-time production and historic scoring numbers, there's still one thing missing from James Harden's already great career, which is a championship. So when you compare the two paths, the Parker path gives you structure, it gives you championships, consistency, and long-term winning within a system, but it limits your individual ceiling. The Harden path gives you everything offensively, freedom, dominance, MVP level impact. But it asks you to carry everything, and the championship becomes harder to reach. One path is about fitting into greatness, the other path is about becoming the system itself. And this is why Dylan Harper's situation is so unique, because Victor Wembanyama changes everything. You don't often get a young superstar big man like this to come into your franchise timeline. So the guard next to him defines the entire direction of the San Antonio Spurs. You build a perfect duo like Parker and Duncan, or do you let Harper evolve into something closer to a second superstar model? That decision will shape everything. And the Spurs honestly have to make other choices. How long will they keep De'Aaron Fox if Dylan Harper shows the potential to be a great point guard next to Victor Wembanyama? Will they let go of Devin Vassell? Will they let go of Keldon Johnson? Who will they keep among those people? And not to mention you have Stephon Castle all alongside Victor Wembanyama and Dylan Harper. A lot of these decisions will shape everything and decide which path Dylan Harper takes in his career. But let's not forget, Dylan Harper is still early in his career. It's year one, but the Spurs may already be showing him two futures. One's built on legacy, stability, and championships, and the other one's built on superstardom, volume, and individual greatness. And whichever path he takes, honestly, will not just define his career, but the next era of San Antonio basketball. That's going to be all for the video, guys. You guys can let me know in the comments down below which path you think Dylan Harper would most likely take, or what you see him becoming throughout his career, from what you've seen so far from him in his year as a rookie. Let me know in the comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time.